Okay, hi tubers, tubettes, various crazy people. A couple of videos ago, May and I did a little tour of the Valencia area here where we live. And we had a number of requests from people to show you Dumaguete. To show you the entire Dumaguete highlights and lowlights would take 3 or 4 hours. So for the consideration of time, we're just going to show you part of it today. And depending upon your responses and your comments, we'll decide whether or not we do a more thorough investigation again. This time we're not going to go from our front porch to Dumaguete. We're going to start on the edge of Valencia just to consolidate time. But I am not going to speed up the video at any point in time. It's going to be a real-time drive from the edge of Valencia down to eventually Tom Tom's Coffee. And we're going to take, I think, a couple of detours along the way just to kind of give you the taste and the flavor of some of the spots that we go to and see along the way. And then we're going to do our best to drive back on a different route and again show you some different highlights and lowlights of Dumaguete/Valencia. So without further ado, we will get going. We'll get on the bike and we will see you in Dumaguete. Are you filming? Okay. All right, boys and girls. So as I explained in the introduction, we've already driven through Valencia. We didn't want to repeat that. So we are now going to take you down. We're going to first drop off our laundry, and then we're going to show you the sights, the sounds of the actual real-time drive from the edge of Valencia into Dumaguete proper. And we'll get it going here right now. So over here to the right is a place called Nevis Pizza. That's pretty popular amongst the locals especially. We've been there a few times. Not crazy about it. That's my favorite gas station. And then right next to it is a little okai store where May does an awful lot of shopping, I can tell you that. All right, so coming up here on the right are some new places that have just started to open up. So for example, there's a new gas station, and these are shops that are kind of orientated a little bit towards the locals. And then if we go down here, there's a new resto bar that just opened up. Over on the left is the Blue Church. I call it the Blue Church because that's just up the street from my old apartment. And we'll show you that. Oh, this house right there, baby. House for sale or rent. That house has been for sale or for rent for 5 years. More new construction. And then over here to the left is Highland Villas. This is where May and I lived I lived there for 2 years. I think May lived there for 1 year with me. And a nice apartment complex. We just wanted to get someplace cooler. So like I said, I'm gonna make the drive in real time, give you guys an idea of how long it takes us to get from Valencia to Dumaguete. We're going to make one side trip, and that's going to be to drop off the laundry. And then over here to the right are more new restaurants. And look at there, baby. All items, 10 pesos. Oh boy, we'll be going back there on the way home. That's okai. And every now and then they have a sale like that where you can get anything in the store for 20 cents. And I guarantee you, May will come running out of there with 20 different things. All right, so over here is our laundry place. LA Box Laundromat. And you see that sign that says Latino Restaurant, the yellow sign there, baby? If you look over here to the right, let me turn off the motor. Oh, wait a minute, here comes our friend. Hello. So we'll pick this one up tomorrow, okay?
Okay,
And the other one I'll pick up today. Okay, honey, thank you. Oh, I'm gonna turn off the motor. Right there is the Latino restaurant, Spanish and Italian food. And then look over to the right here, you don't see any Spanish Italian restaurant. But you see that road right there? I was told that if you go to Gas and go down the dirt road, you'll find the Latino restaurant. So the other day when May was in bed, I drove down there and there's nothing. But let me show you this as a little nuance here in the Philippines. Let me get these guys out of my way. I'm gonna cut across the road. All right. Check this out. So they kept saying gas and go, gas and go. And what have we got dead ahead of us here? We've got a dirt road, no signs whatsoever talking about this Latino restaurant. But a good friend of mine, Dennis, he said, man, you've got to go there. We've yet to go there because I just now figured this out yesterday. So maybe later on today, I'll come back up here and May and I'll have lunch and we'll share that with you. All right, so just one of those little nuances about word of mouth. Not really a clearly marked way of telling people where your restaurant is or any other business for that matter. Okay, here we go. All kinds of fruit stands. And whatever is in season is what they're selling. Okay, okay. This restaurant here, May and I went in one time, sat down, waited 20 minutes. Nobody even came over to say hi to us. So we just got up and left. Now here's a new place that has got all new looking apartments, and they rent motorbikes. So I'm gonna check them out later on this week for the guys that are coming into town and find out what their rates are. It sounds like a pretty good deal where you can rent an apartment, get a bike. Hey, if you're here for a couple of weeks or you're just getting your feet on the ground, that might be a great place to start if they don't have long-term commitments. That I don't know. Sorry store, feed store, fruit stands, and non-stop construction. Road's always being dug up somewhere, constantly. And again, as you see, there's a mixture of really nice houses, and then there's just like that right over there. And that's where people live. So it's a mishmash. All right. Let's go, go, go. But this is the drive. I hope you can hear me over the wind. This is the drive that May and I make every day when we go into town. And this is probably the most dangerous intersection because nobody ever seems to know who's doing what. Well, we always let the big boys go first. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hi.
Good to see you. Like this guy. All right. Well, we made it to the danger section. And then May, you can just kind of show them, you know, side by side as we go along. More construction, more apartments going up. More new apartments and businesses going up. And here is U-Wash. This is where May and I used to go until they built that one that we just came from. And to get 2 weeks worth of laundry done costs maybe 10 bucks. That's fluff and fold, wash, dry, including detergent and fabric softener. Now over here to the left, if you look, there's a whole bunch of apartments down there. And that's where the world famous Geo used to live. He had an apartment down there. Back there, more apartments. And it's amazing what you would find, guys, just driving down some naked dirt road, what you'd bump into. All right, so we're starting to get into the thick of it here now. Coming up here on my right, right there's Brew Garden. You like craft beer, that's a great place to go. And then up here on the right is one of May's favorite okai stores. And this little street here where you see the guys coming out here in the red and the green trucks, that street right there is a shortcut to the National Highway. But we're not going to go there today. However, I think on the way back we will bring you guys back up on the National Highway so you can get an idea what that's all about. This is where we start to get into a little bit of traffic. All right, so now we're going to be coming up on Hypermart, and that is where just about everybody in town, locals, foreigners, etc., go to. It is the closest thing to a Walmart that you will find out here as far as a grocery store. Plus they sell clothes, shoes. It's like Walmart, but more like Kmart, if you know what I mean. So that's going to be coming up on our left, and then I'm going to pull into a 7-Eleven on the right, and then I got to pick some stuff up, and then we will pick up the video from there. But baby, if you can show them, if you can just show them Hypermart when we get up there. Okay? All right, you can turn off the video, baby, and I'll Huh?
Hypermart. Talking about Hypermart.
Yeah, just give me a second. All right, go ahead and turn it on. Okay, so anyway, we're across the street from Hypermart, and I just wanted to give you an idea of where it is. Right now we're at 7-Eleven across the street from it, and now we're gonna hop back on the bike and we're gonna go, and we're not going into Hypermart, but we do have a plan of going shopping at Robinson's one day, Hypermart, some other places, so you guys can get an idea as to what prices are like and just what the vibe is like inside, okay? So here we go. And we're off. All right, so I'm going to drive kind of slow, and I'm going to get over here to the left, and I want you to show them sideways. So, as long as this bus isn't in the way. So right here is a place called Sideways where this guy's turning in. They probably have the best food for the money in town, as far as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They run the business right, is what I'm trying to say. The owners are always there. They've trained their staff really well, and I think they give a really good value for the money. Very popular among the foreigners to go there. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now what's in front of us is Robinson's, and we are going to be approaching the intersection that initially terrified me when I first got to town and first rented a scooter. But I'll show you how we navigate through that. There's a big intersection here. Robinson's is going to be on the right. And like I said, maybe on the way back we'll take you by Robinson's. I don't want the video to go on forever. But I did want to do it in real time and not speed it up or any of that other fancy stuff, because I'm just not that fancy. up here in front of me, we're going to be going by a couple of points of interest. I hope you guys can hear me over this wind. Over to the left is a place called City Hardware. A lot of building supplies done there. And then there's Robinson's Builders. Same but different. Now over to the right is what I want you guys to see. That is the bus terminal. 5 years ago, I got off the bus, got into a trike there, and said, take me to a hotel. The guy said, which one? I said, you pick it, because I had no clue. Over to the right here is one of 3 McDonald's, and this is the only one with a drive-through. So Baby May, feel free just to swing the camera any way you like. Just give these kids a bird's eye view of what's going on. Just a lot of different shops, businesses, eateries, etc. Always fun when a car is pulling out. All right, here we go. And then we have this river here that is pretty nasty. And there's always kids or adults in it. And it just breaks my heart to see them because it's like raw sewage going out to the ocean. But what are you going to do? Right here is a Hart Hotel. That is a place that I've never been in, but I do know a guy that stayed there and he said it was just fine. So something to put in your memory banks. This is where you can rent a scooter, right there. However, old Paulie boy rented his scooter right there because it was 1,000 pesos cheaper on a monthly basis. Okay, now I'm not going to take you on our normal route to go to Tom Tom's Coffee, which is our destination. I'm going to go through kind of a goofy route, give you a little more vibe of the place. Dead ahead is the CL Hotel, which caught fire, and they've yet to fix that. Over here to the left, you have a park, which to be honest with you, I've never been in. And then over there to the right is actually a municipality building where you go to pay your parking tickets. Tell me that wasn't a struggle while trying to figure out where that place was. Anyway. Phil Post, if you have a P.O. box. And then I'm going to take you on a little loop-de-loop because a lot of these streets are one way. But just give you a little vibe as to how to navigate, what to look at, things you may have heard about and were interested in. Some things are still here. Some things have been torn down because of COVID. So right there is Merrill, and that is where May goes to buy her shoes. And that is the best deal in town on shoes. Right there, Min Foon Japanese restaurant. Pretty good place, a little pricey. Coffee and Sweets. I went in there one time, I said never again. It was brutal. They like that one. Okay. If it seems like we're just circling around, it's because we are. There's a new place right there. What's that called? Ground Zero. That's where you get to go buy coffee at a really high price, and it's not all that tasty. but you know. And this guy's gonna go the wrong way. Okay, good. All right, so over here, to our right is gonna be what's known as Evermall. Right there, little Evermall. And across the street from Evermall is a McDonald's. And then I'm going to go forward here, just a very small amount, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Over here to the right is Lee Plaza. No view would be complete without a Jollibee. So there's one of your Jollibees. And this is the nonsense that you get to go through when you get to a crosswalk. As you can see, lanes are just kind of a suggestion, not exactly written in stone. Now, this is always occupied, this is always busy, there's all kinds of stuff here for the locals especially. Over here to the right is Unitop, which is kind of a dialed down version of Lee Plaza. And it's less expensive, and boy, what a mess. All right, so we gotta let the big boys go. Once they get going, they know they own it. But what's interesting is we just passed a McDonald's back there, and here we have, what? Another McDonald's. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're now gonna go down to the boulevard, tops and bottoms right there. May likes that. It's kind of like a hardware store plus shorts and shirts and socks, and again, sometimes you can find what you're looking for and other times you can't. There's Bethel. That's a Christian-based hotel. No ladies allowed after dark, just so you know, boys and girls. And then this is the boulevard here. And with all the trees and with, you've probably seen it on 100 Guys' other videos, but here we are showing it to you again anyway. So baby, you might want to just show them right over here, some of the restaurants. There's the Honeycomb. You'll get a lot of music there at night now that they've lifted restrictions. This is the world famous Why Not? And I promise you, if you've been in the Why Not once, you've been in the Why Not 1,000 times. But it's a one nightclub, it's the one disco in town. This is a collection of pizza, food, massage parlors, etc. More restaurants, more restaurants. And then over to the right is the harbor, and that is the pier, and that's one of the boarding places. If you wanted to go to another island, you would catch the ferry there. To the left is Bogart's. Their manager died about a month or so ago, so they're kind of in dialed down mode. Delicatessen, and then here's our destination here, kids, which is Tom Tom's Coffee. So we're gonna go inside, we're gonna have a cup of coffee, and then we'll come back and give you crazy people hey buddy. Where was I? We'll give you crazy people. Yeah, I know. Are you still rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So anyway, we'll give you guys a tour of the ride home. We'll take some different routes. We might break this up into 2 videos because I have no idea how long this whole video has been, we dropped off our laundry, we drove down, we kind of circled around a little bit. We're gonna go in, have a cup of coffee. We won't film inside because people will want their privacy. And then one more shot, baby, if you will, of the wharf and with the fast craft and the ro-ro that's over there. So you can get an idea of the pier. Okay, so there's where you go. You load your car or your bike on there, and when restrictions are no longer in place, you can go to Siquijor, Bohol, Cebu, etc. via water if you so desire. All right, that's it for now, kids. We're gonna go get a cup of coffee. Okay, kids, so we're now leaving Tom Tom's. We had our coffee, and now we're gonna take you once again along the boulevard. So May can look at the ocean with you. On the right, there's just a bunch of restaurants that we've already shown you on the way in. So I think we'll just stay focused over here for now and let you take a look at the beach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little back route. We're going to go over a little bit of familiar territory, but I want to take you past a shanty town, which is a very dangerous area. And then I want to also take you by Robinson's Mall, show you where that is in relationship to everything. And then we'll go up the National Highway. I'm not sure if we're going to put this in one total video or break it up into two. We'll see how we do on time. Right, that was close. All right, so on a little back street that's an extension of the boulevard. And we're gonna go into an area, we're gonna go over a bridge, and I'm gonna show you an area that would be your atypical, quote unquote, bad part of town. Yeah, right. Up and over. Over here to the left is Bell Church, and that's actually a Chinese church. Very interesting. Maybe one day we'll take you back there and show you around. But over there, look at that, baby. Show them see the metal roofs? All right, so stay to the right with the camera, honey. And we'll go kind of slow. This is where people live. Now, a little background story on this. The first time that I came by here was when I was single, and I had gone out to dinner with a woman who lived here. She had a boarding house here. And I think it was around 10 or 11 o'clock at night that I was giving her a ride back to her boarding house. And when I get up here and turn, I'll show you exactly where. I had never been here before, and I think it was the first time that I had seen her, so I was just, again, dropping her off. We'd gone out to dinner, got to know each other a little bit, and when I went to drop her off, I'm going to bring you up to where I can show you exactly where. At this road right here She said, right here. And I made a right turn to go down this alleyway. And she said, no, you just drop me right here and I'll walk to the rest of the way. And I said, why is that? And she said, well, I appreciate your offer, but you'll drive in with me, but there's a 50-50 chance you'll never drive back out. Because this is known as an area where they do a lot of shabu, they do a lot of drinking, and you get a group of guys together that are drunk and high, bad things can happen. So people always ask me, do I feel safe? And I say, yeah, because I don't go to those places. And thankfully, that time I was warned about it. But you don't ever want to go into a strange, dark place late at night. Over here to the left is Navarro Apartments. And I know some guys that live there. They're a little on the lower end, if you will, of the food chain. But as far as I know, as long as they mind their own business, they don't have any problems. Now we're going to be making a left up here, and we're going to be a little redundant because we're going to go right past where we were before. Now you like that for a left-hand turn, huh? And then we're going to go through the backside of Robinson's, and then we'll pop out on the other end, and we will show you the National Highway. Sights, the sounds, the smells. So over here to my left is the drive-through McDonald's that we showed you on the way down here. And if I just keep going straight, we'll go back the same way we came. But I thought that I would break it up for you a little bit. Take a little side trip. Let me navigate through this. All right. Hoo-ah. Okay, so over to the right is Robinson's Mall. This here is a brand new addition. It's a parking structure that they've added during the pandemic. You can no longer enter this way. That's been blocked off. But that is Robinson's. A very popular spot for guys that are here for just a couple of days or a couple of weeks is right here, the Go Hotels. Because they're close to downtown, they're close to the mall, they're close to the action. And so Go Hotels. Now past them, right here, is Robinson's Mall. And I would drive you through there, but it's a one-way, so you'd miss the majority of it. Over here to the left is a call center. And call centers employ a lot of people here. Okay, back over to the right, baby May. We're gonna come up to one of the entrances to Robinson's, right there. There you go. And they did a lot of additions. They've only been working on it for 3 years, but you know, this is a new addition here in the front. Okay, we're gonna hang a left and get ourselves on the National Highway. And now we're heading home via the National Highway. And there's so many places here that I'd love to point out to you where I used to go and hang out, but they've since closed down. Now here is the Tip Top Hotel. I had somebody just ask me about that the other day. That is where I stayed for 2 nights when I first got to town. When I got off the bus, I got on a trike. The guy said, where to? I said, a hotel. He said, which one? I said, you pick it. And I said, I don't know. And so he took me to the Tip Top. And then I moved into the Hermagina Apartments. I stayed there 6 weeks. What a cluster F that was. But it's right over here. And you have to go down that dirt road. And believe it or not, there's a big ass complex of apartments back there. Okay. Pay attention, Paul. Lots of fruits, lots of veggies, lots of vendors, schools. Right over here to the left is the Honda dealership. I think, yeah, there it is. That's the Honda dealership, where I think somebody, if they're nice, is going to get a new scooter for Christmas. But we don't know yet. It depends on, you know, Santa's naughty or nice list. So again, I want to do this in real time. I don't want to speed up the video. I know we may have to make this puppy in 2 parts, I'm not sure. Or maybe I'll just get lazy and lump the whole thing together. I'll leave it up to you guys to watch or not. Over to the right is a place that I used to go to all the time that's no longer there. It used to be called Gigi's, and the owner died. I spent many funny hours in there. It's a good thing Gigi's can't talk, because if they could, I'd be in trouble. Now here's the Southview Hotel. I've never been inside there, but I tend to check it out, and I'll give you guys the down low on it, prices and all that good stuff. Over here is a place called Grumpy's, another place that is a victim of the pandemic. They had live music, they had good food, they had horrible service, but either way. So many places that I used to go to and hang out with my friends got just decimated. Now you'll see these all over the place. Mueller. Those are where you exchange money at. That and Cebuana. Whoops, there's Thunder Road. That is another bar, restaurant. They've had a few beauty pageants out there, Halloween events, stuff like that. So I'm not talking very much because there's not very much to talk about. But in a few minutes we'll come up on some more landmarks. But I'm enjoying the ride because it's nice and cool outside. That's how you travel when you got a scooter. And here we are at Dumaguete city limit. Right here is a very sad spot. This is where a gentleman that I know, to be honest with you, he was never a friend, but a gentleman that I knew of, where he crashed his motorbike and lost his life. the atypical drunk driving accident, which is a pity. And over here to the right, there's a ton of construction, but this is where I go every year to watch the Super Bowl. It's a place called the Octagon. And they also have a group of guys that meet every Wednesday here at the Octagon. And they, what do they play? They play, hell, I forgot the name of the game. Pinochle or something like that. Anyway, so that's the Octagon. Hard to show you, hard to see because of all the construction. Oh, here it is. Hard to see. There it is. And there's also a French bakery there. Had me confused with the construction. All right, look at all this crap. All right, so there's the mortuary. I've been there too many times for friends. And believe it or not, if you make a left where you see this truck coming out and go down that road, you'll be at a place called Big Billy's, which is on the beach. Totally awesome little place to go on the beach. They play music. It's a real favorite for the beer drinkers. And just a nice little spot to go and hang out. But you'd never know. There's no sign, there's no nothing. Everything is word of mouth. And then coming up on the right pretty soon is gonna be Burlicious Sushi. And they have really good sushi for the price and for just the fact that there's a sushi place out here. And I am a fan of sushi. And May has learned to love it also. So let me give them a plug. They're here on the National Highway. And they are coming up, so we'll slow down. And we'll give you a drive-by of Burlicious Sushi. And they're closed on Mondays. But that's it right there. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive to the end and I'm going to show you the Valencia highway where we're going to make a right. I'm going to shut the camera off there because there's really nothing to talk about once we get on that highway until we get closer to Valencia. And then when we get up there, instead of burning up a bunch of time watching nothing going by on the video, we'll fire it back up. And I'll show you where a really cool little coffee shop called the Coffee Groove is. So in about 3 minutes, I think, we should be up to the turnoff to the Valencia highway. Now, if I was to continue to go straight, instead of making the right turn, I would be going directly into a little burg called Bacong. And then past Bacong is Dowen. And then past Dowen, you would get to Zamboanguita, and you would get to Chaton, which is May's hometown. So Chaton is about an hour away. Bacong, 5 minutes away. Dowen, about 15 minutes away. And Dowen is actually world famous for some of the best diving in the planet. On the planet, I should say. That's where Pura Vida is, Atmosphere Resort, too many places to mention. Okay, so this is where we're going to make a right turn. And this is where we'll shut down the video. And then once we traverse the road a little bit, because it's just the same thing, there's nothing really to point out. It's a beautiful drive, but like I said, I don't want to make this into a 2-hour video. So this is the Valencia Highway. We're going to be going dead ahead. To the right, we have a nice little 7-Eleven, which is handy. Okay, kids, well, we've driven about 7/8 of the Valencia Highway, and we just wanted to pull over and show you another one of May's famous and favorite okay stores, where she goes in and buys clothes for $1, $2, $3. Really, really good deals, and that's that. So, coming up here, the last video that we did, where we gave you guys a tour of Valencia, we actually took the thumbnail picture right here, between these two signs. I think we used the one in red. So we've got 3 or 4 minutes till we're back to town, and hopefully this video won't be running forever. I have absolutely no idea how long it's going to be. But one other place I wanted to make sure I mentioned is the Coffee Groove. And the Coffee Groove is one of my favorite little hangouts. I've had many fine conversations there, and they actually spin records on a turntable, and they have all the old classic rock there. They are fans of the Doors, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and they're Filipinos from Manila. And so the Coffee Groove has got a real atmosphere to it, and it's just a nice place to go. Very close to home. And then we're gonna bug up here. And now, we are pretty much back in Valencia, and we'll end this video where I began, which is at the beginning. So we'll take you to that intersection. I'll sign off, and I hope you guys like it. Please feel free to leave your comments if you thought it was too long or too whatever. And if you'd like to see more of it, we can do a lot more stuff driving around outside, especially now that I've got this microphone that seems to work okay. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know. If you thought it was too long, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You can tell me what you think. And eventually we'll get there. We've hit a snag. A little slowdown. So, okay, I'm going to hang a left up here, and that's going to be the end of the video. This is where we started. Over here to the left is where we pulled over and started the video. That's the little tour of our daily life here in Valencia. All right, kids, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.